So yesterday I did a post where I talked about the difference between single mothers and unwed mothers because there is a difference. The biggest difference is the village. I've been blessed to have a village the whole way of rearing my children. Number one, their fathers were involved. I have two kids. They're 10 years apart. I have one at 30 and one at 40. Okay, so my kids are very well spread apart. I was not married to my son's father. And he still maintained a part. He was a part of his life the whole way, right? That included my son going to visit with him on summer vacations and spring break, and him coming to visit him once a month, either flying or driving to visit him because he was not local. When it came to my daughter and her dad and I, we were married. When we divorced, again, he maintained and maintains an integral part in her life. He still is. In fact, I work an hour away. And, when my daughter wanted to go get her nails done today, who took her? Her dad did. But my kids live with me, right? So, of course, I'm going to do the bulk of it. It is what it is. This is what I sign up for. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. But again, I'm not married. I'm not single, though, because I'm not doing it. I'm not a single mother, I should say, because I'm not doing it alone. In addition to their dads, I have, my siblings, who are there to pick up the load when I can. If I've got somewhere that I need to be, and I can't, pick up my daughter from, I don't know, if she has an activity after school, my family's there. That's the village, be it on my side or my ex-husband's side. There's a village, because truly it does take a village. But for someone like Janiya, Taraji P. Henson's character in Straw, my oh my, sister was going through not only a rough day, but her life was rough. Big difference between someone who, is unmarried and divorced, and not only that, has a whole career. People assume that single moms, are struggling. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you do feel that you might be spread thin, or unmarried mom might be spread thin, but never alone. That's the difference. Never alone. Everybody is not, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Some of us have degrees and careers, and we make things happen. Some of us have made things happen before we even became parents. I told you, I had my kids at 30 and at 40. I'm 55 now. I have a whole career, and granted, it is what it is, but there's a difference. And I am not one for stereotypes. I hate stereotypes because everybody's not the same. All Black people aren't the same, although we have a lot of commonalities, and I love my people. But everybody's not the same. We're not monolithic. It is what it is. But again, getting back to that movie, baby, Taraji, she brought so much to that character. And although I couldn't relate to her, guess who I could relate to? I could relate to Teyana Taylor's character. I could relate to her because my mother struggled with 4 kids. May not have been as bad as, Janiya's in the movie, Straw. However, she struggled. And I remember some of those struggles. And because of that, I worked hard to try to not be in that situation. But Lord knows I know that it exists. Teyana Taylor, Officer Raymond in the movie Straw, she brought a level of compassion, and at times it hit too close to home, right? And Teyana did a great job conveying that in her character, and my oh my, that's the character that I related to the most. Now, when it came to Sherry Shepherd, amazing. She brought another level of compassion. You had 3 different types of Black women in that film, now that I think about it. 3 different types of Black women. You had Sherry Shepherd, who, although she was compassionate for Janiya, she couldn't really relate. Nicole was her character's name. She couldn't really relate to her on that level, but her heart went out to her. She was married. She had a family, right? And she was the bank manager. Tayana Taylor, again, Officer Raymond, that was her mother's struggle, right? She remembered seeing her mother and their family being evicted. And she talks about that in the film when she's talking to Janiya, Taraji P. Henson's character. And then skip forward, going back to Taraji's character. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The vulnerability in that character, I'm telling you, if you have not seen Straw, you gotta see it. Taraji P. Henson, to me, is one of her best performances of all time. From the time you lay eyes on her in the beginning, sister brings it home. You see the vulnerability. You see her emotions just kind of just like, you know, and I'm not going to give away too many things in this video, but I will tell you, you need to see it. Now she's struggling. You see that, you know, the house is in disarray. The music from her neighbors is blaring loud. We find out, you know, that she's late on her rent and is that close to being evicted, or I should say that close to being evicted. But then she goes to work. And Glenn Turman, who is her manager in the film, who many of us remember as Colonel Taylor back in the day watching A Different World. And then for those of us who are also a little old enough to remember Cooley High, he was Preach in Cooley High. Y'all remember that scene in Cooley High where he pours that drink out and says, "This is for the brothers who ain't here," or something like that, because we know Coach Cheese had passed away. I believe that was the other character's name. But yeah, Colonel Taylor, Glenn Turman, who was the manager of Taraji in that film, man, he talked to her like he was crazy. He's a heck of an actor, y'all. So if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. But just to watch the hell that this young lady goes through in a day, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then even on, you know, she has just numerous things happen to her that day. But another thing that stood out, and again, I'm not going to give away too many things, but one thing that stood out to me when that girl got on the phone with her mama and she was trying to tell her mama that she didn't mean for this to happen that way and began to explain herself, she was like a child. She was like a child. Isn't that just like a grown black woman when she talking to her mama, when her mama is getting on you about something or getting on her, turn into that child all over again? That level of vulnerability. Oh my gosh, Taraji, sis, you killed it. You did it. Just amazing. So much in this film. And if you haven't seen it, again, you got to watch it. I'm not going to give it away, but I will tell you that there is a mental health aspect to it as well. So for all of the single mothers who are out there, sis, keep going, keep fighting, seek help, find a village if you don't have one. If that means you got to move back to your hometown, even though you don't necessarily want to be in your hometown, but you're struggling because you don't have a support network in the city in which you live, sis, think about moving home if that's where your help is. Look for help. Seek help from a doctor. If you don't have insurance, please find a free clinic. They do still exist, even in the midst of this administration, which I'm not going to get into right now. There are still resources that are available. Please seek help. Please ask for help. Single mothers, you got this. You can do it. Many of us had moms who were. Again, I'm an unmarried mother, but thankfully, I'm not that character, but I can relate because my mother, because of her own choices, that was her struggle. Anyhow, God bless y'all. Have a good night. Be blessed. I wish to every one of you watching, I wish you service and I wish you blessings, right? Because we all know to whom much is given, much is required. So I do wish you greater blessings and greater service. God bless. Thank you for watching and thank you for coming to my channel.